Hello and welcome to PixelSports presents GoalTable Football Podcast, and this is the series that you guys have been waiting for, that we have been waiting for. The burning question has returned.
Yes.
With Gigi and me, TD, and as you know that Gigi is an ardent Manchester United supporter, and should we say that you are delighted by the news of Erik Ten Hag, as you guys also know that Erik Ten Hag has been sacked. Gigi, are you delighted?
Look, a tongue-in-cheek answer would be yes, I'm delighted, but let's not fool ourselves. This is nothing to be too happy about. We have sacked coach after coach, sacked
Managers after
managers after
managers.
managers, and these sort of things don't make you happy anymore. Yes, it's a relief that it was very painful to see the Ten Hag era, especially in
Not
this.
for us, the rest of the 19 teams in the Premier League.
I would imagine so, but in the last 2 3 months, especially this season, it was very painful. It was painful last season as well. All of us were waiting for a turnaround, but that never came, and it was about time. We'll discuss.
Yes,
that, right?
just taking that cue from you. Why now? Because Manchester United has been was not in a good form. The last five matches, only one win against Brentford. That was a good win in my opinion. Against West Ham also, United actually, if we look at the game, United played pretty well. One can say that they were unlucky to concede the last minute penalty. So why now that Erik Ten Hag has been what broke the back of the camel?
No, no. Look, the mere fact that you were saying we played well against Brentford, we played well against West Ham, we competed against Porto and Fenerbahce. For United fans, ardent United fans, people who expect a lot from the club, that itself is an insult.
Hmm.
Because you cannot, for Ten Hag, he cannot come back from a Fenerbahce match and say that this is a good result for us.
He also said the same thing against after the draw against Porto.
After the draw against Porto, three all draw,
Yes.
and he said a very good result for us. This proves that we are a hard side to beat.
Hmm.
Now you cannot be competing against sides like Brentford, and then you lost to West Ham, and then easily get defeated by the likes of Tottenham, by the likes of Liverpool. Against Tottenham and Liverpool, we are not even discussing that. We have taken it for granted that we'll be easily defeated by them, and we'll start competing against the likes of Brentford and West Ham and all of them. So that naturally has left us after 9 matches. And remember, 2 or 3 matches, till 5 matches, you can give a leeway. 9 matches is almost 1/4 of the season done.
Hmm.
And after 1/4 of the season, we are 14th.
14th
of the
in
table.
the yes.
Right on the verge of the relegation zone.
Hmm.
So it's not about competing. The team was not competing. Also, the team selection, playing players repeatedly out of position, not depending too much on Luke Shaw, Malacia, players who did not contribute much for him. He should have reinforced the left back position, which he did not do. He should have reinforced another right back position. He sold Wan Bissaka, brought in Mazarui, but playing Dallo and Mazarui in right back and left back, and then playing Mazarui in the number 10 position.
Did you see that coming?
Uh, Not really, but I saw that many of the ardent Ten Hag followers were not surprised. Mourinho was not surprised. So the last couple of weeks, especially the last 1 month or so, it was unbearable.
What about the last 2.5 years? What I am trying to ask you is how would you sum up the tenure of Erik Ten Hag? He famously said that eras do come to an end, and we are. Is this an end of an era for Erik
No,
Ten
I
Hag?
would just like to defend Erik Ten Hag here.
Mhm.
On this comment, eras come to an end. You expect a manager to come in all guns blazing, and he took a risk by saying that, and he took a risk of getting eternally trolled, and he will be eternally trolled for that. But that's a very brave move to have, and I think I respect that. I respect that in any coach, this street fighter kind of attitude. So I loved that in the beginning, and it was paying dividends. Because if you remember correctly, in the first season itself, he was sitting on the top of the table in the
End of December.
end of December Christmas break after I think 15 or 16 matches in the league. And there was one point in the season, many would laugh at it right now, but United were rooted for a treble. They were on the verge of
They were
winning.
in the UCL, they were in the FA Cup,
They all
which Erik Ten Hag went on to win.
they already won the League Cup in
Yes.
that season. They were favorites to win the Europa,
Yes.
and they were also in the run for Premier League. And then things started going south, and that he never recovered from that. If you cannot recover in 2 years of time, that's a huge problem. In the last season was a disaster. A United manager finishing eighth and retaining his job is almost
Unheard of. Yes.
Unheard
Any
of.
for any big team.
For any big team finishing eighth, he was very lucky to
Win the final match
win the
against
FA
Manchester.
Cup and retain his job. But still, luck would not be the correct thing to attribute to him. There are many other factors, to be honest.
I'm just going to ask you about that. Who, as you say, that United is in 14th in the Premier League table. They are in the Europa League. They are 21st among the 36 teams. So, is Erik Ten Hag, the manager, is solely responsible? Who else should be held accountable for this?
I think everyone is accountable. And it's very problematic. There have been players in the club who have seen the change of four
At
managers.
least three managers. Yes.
3-4 managers. I think Luke Shaw saw a
Five
change of
managers.
5 managers.
Yes.
So there have been players who are constant in the team, and the managers keep on changing. This cannot be a pattern. This has been a pattern at United. So players should be held accountable. If you want to shake up the system of a club, I was telling you just a few hours back that if you want to change the system of an institution, you need to change the probably CEO, the principal, or someone who is accountable for the running of the show. You cannot only change one or two minor members and say okay everything is done, or only change one man and say everything is changed. So one or two player changes won't work. For me, I think there has to be a major overhaul. Players like Bruno Fernandes, I'm not saying sell them right now. Bruno Fernandes, Marcus Rashford, Luke Shaw, Harry Maguire, even someone like Diogo Dalot. All the players who have not performed well in the last 2-3 months, all eyes will be on them in the coming weeks. Because if now they start blazing, they should be held accountable. Why were you not playing well in the last 1 month or so? Were you sabotaging the coach? So that question has to be answered by the players as well, and most importantly, the management, the Glazers. Glazers have very smartly shifted the onus now on Ineos. I won't be too harsh on management right now because that would put pressure on Ineos, and I want to give some time to Ineos, but uh, Ineos have to be held accountable after a season or so because they have changed the entire structure of the club. And now it's time that if someone new comes in, which we'll also talk about, that person has to get a conducive atmosphere. It cannot be that Van Gaal is a bad coach, Mourinho is a bad coach, Moyes is a bad coach, Ole is a bad coach, Ten Hag is a bad coach, Ralph Ragnick is a bad coach. It cannot be so.
With the same set of players, almost the same set of players.
It's impossible to say only coaches are bad and everyone else is good. It's
Now, if we move on, there are certain names that are being flunked by the well-known journalists like David Ornstein, like Fabrizio Romano. The names are like Ruben Amorim of Sporting, Julian Nagelsmann of Germany, Xavi, who is currently not employed by any club. So, who do you see? Who do you want as the next?
Look, to be honest, Nagelsmann's his name was. It has not been attached to the club. No rumors there. But I would have loved to have seen his name being attached, but his name never actually popped up. A realistic option, a realistic name which was getting connected was Xavi, and because of the fact him posting that picture with his son wearing
a
the
United shirt.
That sparked a lot of rumors. Xavi, I don't know really. From very little I've seen of him in Barcelona, I think Xavi would require a certain kind of setup in order for him to flourish, and there too he is not absolutely tried and tested. Whereas I'm very excited about Amorim because Amorim is the top target of most of the top sides in the world right now. And Amorim, he was targeted by Liverpool,
yes.
their first choice. He was targeted by Barcelona. He is supposedly the next target after Pep Guardiola. So all of the big teams are targeting him, and Amorim has proved himself in this season. Sporting CP, 9 matches, 27 points. 20, I think.
They are flying. They are flying high actually.
I think 25 goals scored and 2 goals conceded. 23 goal difference in 9 matches. Amazing, unbelievable figures. In the last 2 seasons as well, Sporting were runaway
Runaway
champions
Yes.
in a league consisting of Porto, like
Benfica.
all of them. So Amorim has been brilliant. So I think Amorim would be my first choice. There were also names thrown of Gareth Southgate. I would like to put this on record. The day Southgate becomes United coach, the next minute I'll become Ineos out.
Okay.
All right, so I want to put that on record.
Okay. So you know that we from the GoalTable Football Podcast team, how much we love
Yeah,
Gareth
we have a
Southgate.
special love for him.
Special love for
During the Euros.
Yes.
We made it very clear.
So, judging from your comments on Ruben Amorim, Gigi, how does Ruben Amorim's setup suits to the United system? Because I think you have followed him a
Yeah.
bit.
Especially when the name started getting linked with us in the last few days. He plays in a 3-4-3 formation, and three at the back, two wing backs are very important. That setup does not suit the present United squad, to be honest, because United does not have those players on the wings. Center backs.
Also, they don't. I don't think they have the Ruben Amorim type midfielders also.
Type midfielders, because you need a proper number 6 and a number 8.
In number 6, you can play Ugarte.
Ugarte is there,
And Bruno Fernandes has played under Ruben Amorim before.
Yes, but also number 8, I don't see likes of Kobe Mainu getting slotted in there. Also, the Zugzi and Hojland, they might start together under Ruben Amorim. That is also a possibility. Rashford might fit into this system, but it remains to be seen. It's not a very natural transition. It will not be a very natural transition. Fans should remember that, because in the back as well, Licha, Delict, and who is the third? Lenny Yoro, or is it Harry Maguire? Is it Lindelof right now? Who is it? The third left centre back, right centre back, and the main centre. It's not very clear. So it remains to be seen if Amorim does become the coach. But I would like to say that it's not final as yet. Yes, I understand Ornstein, Romano, they have come in with their system, but with confirmations, but it's not confirmed. The club level negotiation is
Still going on, because I think Sporting CP has a match today night.
Yes, and also I think the Liverpool deal broke down at the club level.
Yes,
they reached.
Liverpool deal broke down because of the owners of the club, because they are not willing to pay 5 million more. So you cannot put any comparison with the Liverpool owners with anyone else.
But I see the seed of another episode in this comment. We should make an episode on FSG and the Liverpool ownership as well.
Any day. I think we will need DJ also in this.
Yes, I think DJ.
DJ is much more scathing than me in the criticism of FSG. So lastly, Gigi, what is your expectation realistically? Whoever comes. For example, if Xavi comes, I think that would suit United much more than Ruben Amorim, because this United dressing room has been sabotaging the managers. We have seen Mourinho being sabotaged. We have seen Ole being sabotaged. So if Xavi has the aura among himself, because he has been in the last 20 years, he was almost the best midfielder in the world. So if he says that you need to do something like this, the players should listen. That's the theory. So what is your expectation realistically from this game, whoever becomes the manager?
Yes, I think the role of Van Nistelrooy here will also become very important, whether he can impose that mentality of the Fergie era in the dressing room as well, because he will be becoming the interim manager. But realistically speaking, the season is still salvageable. Yes, obviously we cannot realistically think that we will be able to win the Premier League. Impossible. But top 4, top 6, 29 matches left. 60 points would be a realistic target from 29 matches.
That would be a minimum for me.
If that is a minimum, if a coach can reach that, 68 points we already have. So 68 points from the season. Top 4 fight, probably top 6 secured. So I am looking at that from the league perspective,
And
and
also,
Europa
United.
is completely salvageable because it's a long format. Only 3 matches have been done. 5 matches. If you score, I think Mourinho gave a very good breakup of that. If you score 7 to 8 points for the next 5 matches, you're secured
For the
uh,
next round, yes.
for knockout position. So let's see until they reach the knockout. I'm hoping there will be a honeymoon period, and I'm just asking, I'm begging the new manager to throw a honeymoon period at me because that would do a world of good to United supporters. So let's see whether that happens. And I think, yes, realistically speaking, top six in the Premier League and some sort of
Deep run in the
silverware
Europa.
in Europa. Europa looks a realistic target.
Okay, so we will see what Manchester United do, and the other
I'm
Premier League
sorry,
clubs.
I'll
Yes,
just
yes.
interrupt. Europa, I just the last line I said, I want to take it back. Europa is not a realistic target. Reaching the knockouts of Europa is a realistic target.
Okay, so drastically changing his decisions at the last moment, Gigi. But we will not change any decisions in the last moment. We'll be coming back at you thick and fast with new episodes of Burning Question, and we will have all our social media handle links in the description box. So like us, follow us, comment, share, subscribe. Until we come back, stay wild.